Hello guys, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new, welcome to my channel. My name's Alexa, and in today's video we will be doing something very fun. I will be recommending you guys books based off of some of my favorite tropes. Now I know that the title of the video says recommending you books based off of every trope. Now I'm not trying to do clickbait, these are just the tropes that I could fit into this video, but I will be making other parts if you guys want me to. If you guys are like, okay girl, we've had enough, then this is it. This will be the end of this series with the first episode. But if you guys enjoy it and you guys have tropes that you want recommendations for whatever, I will definitely be open to making other videos. Now they might take a while because I'm trying to pre-film some of my content so that I can actually be someone who posts on time. So it might be more in September, and I have a lot of content planned. Anyways, it might take a while, but I will be making a second episode if you guys want to. I honestly read most tropes other than cheating and miscommunications because those are the two that I hate, but I do read a crazy amount of books, so I definitely have favorites in every single trope. Yeah, I thought I would recommend you guys based off of my 5-ish favorite tropes. So we have fake dating, pregnancy trope, recent favorite of mine, so there's not that many books in that trope. We have single dad / single guardian, which is, it's a single dad, but it's like sometimes it's like his niece that he adopted or stuff like that, you know, so that's why I said single guardian, because he's not necessarily the child, the father of the child, but he's the guardian of the child. And we have also age gap and second chance, which is second chance also a recent favorite of mine. So pregnancy and second chance are the two that we have. Not super, like not a crazy amount of recs for, but yeah, I thought we would just get into this video. Also, I'm not gonna be talking about every single book as much as I usually do because I'm trying to make my videos not be 4 hours long and because if I can make my videos not too long, I can someday maybe start posting twice a week, because I will have a lot less content to edit for every single video, because that is currently what I have to do. And currently what I have to do right now, I have about 1 hour to 2 hours of footage for every single video. So if you see a video of me talking for 40 minutes about my physical TBR or whatever, about my TBR for that month, there was likely about 1 hour and 20 minutes of footage. So I'm trying to help myself here, and by helping myself, I'm helping you guys as well. But yeah, so I thought we could start with my favorite trope, which is fake dating. It is the trope that originally got me into romance. It has been one of my favorite tropes for forever. Probably is actually my favorite, but there's some that are currently going up in the ranks of my favorite tropes, but if I had to pick, like if anyone was to ask me what's your favorite trope, it's fake dating, because I know I love the moment when both characters are like, oh, I'm starting to catch feelings, and it's not feeling fake anymore, but I know the other one doesn't like me. But then you switch to the other character point of view and they're saying the same thing, and like especially if it's double point of view, that's my favorite way to do fake dating. First we have The Fake Out by Stephanie Archer. This one might be my favorite in this series. I really loved The Wingman, but this one, it was really, really good. I really, really loved it. I think I gave it a 5 stars. 99% sure. Yeah. I loved Rory and Hazel. It is the second book in the Vancouver Storm series. I really liked the first one, but the second and third are just amazing. I need to read the fourth. If there's the second and third, it's the fourth after the fifth, after the first. But I think in this list, this might be the most recent. It is the most recent. No. Second most recent addition to this list of my favorite fake dating romances, and I think it might be my second favorite hockey fake dating. Like, it is such a fun book, and you guys should all go read it now. Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. This one is kind of an interesting take on the fake dating. So basically it's about these two people who basically every time they date someone, after they break up, the other person finds the love of their life. And they I think they're on Reddit and they're talking about it, and they're like, ugh, I wish I could like find the love of my life instead of having to be the person before the love of their life. So, but basically they both have the same problem. So they decide, oh, let's date each other for a month so then we can find the loves of our lives. And it's kind of fake dating with a fun twist. The Right Move by Liz Tomford. This one is a forced proximity fake dating. So basically Indy has to move in with Ryan, her best friend's brother, and she has to move in with Ryan because she just broke up with her boyfriend of 6 years and has nowhere else to stay. And he kind of doesn't really like her at the start, but then he has to find someone to fake date him so that he can be a better candidate for the captain of his hockey team. No, is it? No, it's not hockey, it's basketball. I don't know why I said hockey, but it is probably one of my favorite. well, I mean, duh, it's on this list, but it is like in the probably top 3 fake dating books of all time. I loved it so much. It's my second favorite book in the Windy City series, and I love Indy so much. She's a bookish girl. She loves to read romance. She loves iced coffee and pink, so I related to her a lot, and this is just such a fun fake dating. Also forgot to add that like you kind of see her realizing that her ex really didn't treat her in the way that he should have, and that Ryan Shea is the man for her. We have The Spanish Love Deception. This one's kind of like a book talk throwback. I read this in 2022, I think start of 2022, and it is still an amazing book. I love Aaron Blackford. He is amazing. Chef's Kiss, love him. I love Elena Armas, one of my favorite authors, and you guys should all go read this. And the second book in this series, well, like it's an interconnected standalone. The female main character's brother does have a book that is called The American Roommate Experiment, and this one is also mixed in with kind of a summer romance because she needs a fake date for her cousin's wedding in Spain. So they kind of he has to go to Spain with her, and they kind of hate each other so much. But yeah, it's so fun and amazing. My favorite hockey fake dating book. This is actually the most recent addition to this list. I read this one 2 weeks ago, I think. Yeah, 2 weeks ago. It is the second book in the Campus Diary series by Elle Kennedy. It is about Diana Dixon and Shane. What's his last name? I think it's Shane Lindley. Basically, she was dating this guy for a while, and he kind of starts stalking her. And Shane also has his ex-girlfriend at some point visit him, so he begs her to pretend to be his girlfriend. By the way, they're neighbors and they hate each other, like they really hate each other, and they are next door neighbors. And she kind of agrees. She's like, fine, yeah, I'll pretend to be your girlfriend for like one night. And then 2 days later, her stalker ex, her toxic ex, moves into her building. So they kind of have to start fake dating, and they start realizing that maybe they don't really hate each other, and maybe the reason they hate each other is like because they judged each other too quickly. And it's just such a fun, cute book. I loved it. After that, we have Happy Place by Emily Henry. This one is one of my favorite M. Hen books. I think it's my second favorite, and it's also a second chance romance because basically we have Harriet and Wynne, who used to be engaged, but they kind of broke off their engagement, but they decided to not tell their friends for a little while because they have friends that are getting married, and they're going to a lake house together in the summer, and they're like, let's not make it dramatic, let's just not tell them yet. And then they go to the lake house like they do every single summer. I think the parents are about to sell the lake house, like their parents, and they have to pretend to still be together even though they broke off their engagement, and they haven't seen each other since. And it is one of the best mixes of fake dating and second chance romance you will ever see. It is amazing and it is perfect. After that, we have The Love Hypothesis by Ali Hazelwood. You guys know Ali Hazelwood is my favorite author of all time, and this book is one of my favorite Ali Hazelwood books ever. It is the first book I read by her, and it is the book that got me into romance. So of course I had to include this, and it is the book that got me into the fake dating trope. This is about Adam Carlson, and we have Olive Smith. Olive Smith is a PhD candidate, third year, and Adam is he's a professor and also a PhD mentor, whatever, like the person who oversees a PhD program. He's not her mentor at all. They are not like, she never had him as a teacher. They just happened to be at the same school. And at some point she basically tells her friend, oh no, I'm completely over like this guy I went on a date with, like you can date him. And her friend is like, I don't believe you. And then Olive is like, oh no, it's fine, I've got a date tonight, like I'm completely over it. And then friend sees her at the lab, and the friend is like, oh, what are you doing here? And she's like, oh, we went on a date here. And then who is the first person she sees after that, like right after, like around the corner? Adam. She kisses him, and then they have to start fake dating, and it is just such an amazing book. There's an adaptation coming out some point. They're filming it right now actually in Montreal, which is amazing. Which is crazy that it's not too far away from me, and I wish I could go, but I'm not gonna go snoop around set just for fun. But yeah, you guys should all go read this. Lastly, we have Bright Lights and Summer Nights by Kat Singleton. This one is about, it's also I think a millionaire or billionaire romance. We have basically our female main character. She goes to her friend's Hampton house for the summer because she's like, ugh, I lost my job, I'm tired of men, blah, 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 like, you know, the typical like, I'm done with dating, I'm done with life, I don't know what I want to do. So at one point she decides to film this TikTok. She's like, oh, blah, 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 like I guess this is what's gonna happen, or like an Instagram reel. And then she decides to sneak into to party crash it's not a wedding, it's like I know it is wedding crashing. Like do some wedding crash a wedding, but it's not actually the wedding. It's like a rehearsal dinner or like the arrival welcome cocktail time for that wedding. And at some point, the guy who's on the other side of the fence that she's jumping to get there is the brother of the bride. And he's like, what are you doing here? And she's like, no, just, I know I know the family. He's like, no, I'm the family, like you're crushing this party. And then they get to talking, and then at some point, like I think it's his sister or someone goes outside and everyone's like, oh, blah blah blah, are you talking to this girl? And he's like, oh, this is my girlfriend, because he's like, his family's been basically like telling him, you need to date someone, so they end up dating, a little fake dating for the summer. And it's such a fun, it's such a fun book. Also, he's an NFL player, so that's fun. But yeah, those were the 8 books for the fake dating trope. I'm proud of myself, guys. I'm actually going super fast. I might be talking too fast, but it is what it is. Up next, we have the pregnancy trope, which is hated by a lot of people, but it is underrated. It is amazing, especially if you find the right books. So I thought I would go in order of the pregnancy trope books that in order that I read them on this list, because I feel like that would be absolutely perfect. First, we have Lizzie Blake's Best Mistake by Maisie Eddings. This is one of the most underrated pregnancy trope books of all time. It has amazing ADHD representation. Basically, this girl, Lizzie, has a one-night stand with a guy who's from Australia, and they use protection and all that, but because she has ADHD, she forgot that condoms have an expiration date, so she gets pregnant, and this guy's back in Australia, but she still has his number for some reason, and she calls him and she's like, hey, I'm pregnant. And he's like, okay, yeah, let's do this, let's have this baby, I'm gonna move to the US for you, blah blah blah. And she's like, whoa, okay. And then they move in together, and it's just her going through pregnancy with ADHD, being super unorganized and kind of just messy in general, and him being like, hey, it's okay, girl, I'll help you, I'll support you through this. And it's just so sweet and amazing, and I love this book so much. And as an ADHD girly, I felt so represented by this book. Maisie Eddings, if you are watching this, I love you so much. After that, we have Out on a Limb by Hannah Bonham Young. This one is, I literally read it in the same week that I read Lizzie Blake Mistake, and it was another 5 stars because that book is truly amazing. I almost cried so many times because of how cute it is. It is one of the most beautiful books I've ever read. Basically, that our main characters, they sleep together at a Halloween party, they have a one-night stand, and then she finds out that she's pregnant, and she kind of has to be like, oh, well, I don't know who I was talking to. She was talking to her friend, I think, and she's like, oh yeah, I'm pregnant, but I don't know who is the dad. I don't know, it was a guy who was dressed up as this, and she's like, oh, that's literally and her best friend has been with her husband forever, so the girl is also best friends with the husband, and she's like, oh, well, that's literally his coworker and close friend. She's like, what? That's the guy you wanted to introduce me to? Oh yeah, because the best friend wanted to introduce them to each other. And then they kind of decide to keep the baby, and she moves in with him, and it's just, you see more of the pregnancy than the baby, that one. Most of these books, actually, it's mostly the pregnancy, but it's so amazing, and it's so cute to see both these characters support each other. And at first they're not together, and they're just so cute together, and I love this book so much. I don't know what to say. Okay, also after that we have one that isn't a 5-star, but it was still such a fun read, and it was Baby Moon or Bust. This one, it's about basically these two people, they have a one-night stand when they're in Nashville together, and she's a designer in LA. He has a brewery in Alaska, and they kind of go their separate ways, and he's like, oh, I've been thinking about her forever, and she's pregnant. And at some point she's like, okay, well, I don't know his information. It is what it is. I'll go on a baby moon, I'll do this on my own. And at some point he sees her on TV because she's this big shot designer, and he's like, that is the girl, that's the girl that I hooked up with. And then he sees that she's pregnant, and he's like, oh no, is it mine? So he's like, okay, I'm gonna fly to LA. He flies to LA, he rings at her apartment. Who answers? Her best friend. Her best friend is like, well, I was supposed to go on the baby moon with her. Here's my plane ticket and information. You go with her. Which is crazy, by the way. Are you trying to get your best friend murdered? Anyways, he ends up going on the baby moon, and they kind of hate each other, but not really. But it's this whole story, and it's so cute, and I loved it so much. It was not a 5-star, but it was a solid 4.5 stars. Lastly, we have Ready or Not by Kira Basson, my favorite pregnancy trope of romance of all time. Our main characters are Eve and Shep. Shep is not the father of the baby, but he is her best friend's brother, and he is just obsessed with her. He takes care of her. He is the love of my life. He's amazing. He is such a supportive person in her life. Like, he doesn't try to push them to be together at all. He's just there for her. He takes care of her. He helps her like try to see if she could be with the father of the baby, but the father of the baby is dating this other girl who's his high school sweetheart. They had a break when she hooked up with the father of the baby, and it is just one of the most sweet books of all time. It's almost a bit more slice of life because you see her through the pregnancy, but there's a lot of cute moments where like the romance doesn't happen until the end. So it's like, it's a romance, but it's a bit more, I would say, of a, well, it's not a romance subplot, but it's very slow burn, but it is one of the best books I've ever read in my entire life, honestly. Next, in the single dad / single guardian, we have 8 books. All of these are some of my favorites, and some of these are by the same authors just because some of the authors are amazing. And I will say I did include some more, not underrated, but like less popular ones, because I know a lot of my books, well, maybe not in the pregnancy category, but like, for example, the fake dating category, a lot of it is like very popular books, so I try to sneak in some underrated books when I can. First, we have Savor It by Tara Dewitt. This one is such a good book. You guys should all go read it. I loved both of the books in this series. The second one is actually later in another category in this series, but basically it's about Fisher, who moves with his niece to Oregon because he's opening a restaurant. They're from New York. They're moving there, I think, just for the summer, and his sister died, I think, in a car accident, and he got his niece after, like, he is now taking care of his niece, and it's just such a beautiful story of him trying to be a dad to a 15-year-old girl, even though he's never been a father ever, but also him trying to kind of fall back in love with being a chef, and it's very much like big city guy with like trying to survive in a small town. It's just so cute and beautiful, and you guys should all love it. I'll read it. And also look at the cover. Isn't this amazing? I love it. An underrated add to this list is Canadian Boyfriend by Jenny Holiday. This one is about these two our two main characters, Aurora and Mike. I forgot even though I read the second book in the series recently, I forgot the name of the male main character, but basically they met once in their life when I think they were like in their teens, but basically she talked to him like while she was working at a cafe in a mall. She talked to him for maybe 5-10 minutes, and he's from Canada, and she's been using him as her Canadian boyfriend since then. Whenever she needs an excuse, she doesn't want to go to prom. Oh, sorry, I'm going to visit my boyfriend in Canada. He doesn't. Meanwhile, they haven't been in touch. Like, they talked for 5 minutes and that was the end. Like, hasn't seen him since. But then who arrives at the ballet studio to pick up his daughter? None other than Mike. And she's a ballet teacher, by the way. And it is just such a fun, cute story. She ends up nannying. Pretty sure. 99% sure. I'm pretty sure she ends up nannying for him, or like taking care of his daughter when he's like at hockey games or stuff like that. And it's just such a fun, cute, it's such a fun, cute book. Next up, I will never shut up about the series. You guys know this. It is none other than Caught Up by Liz Tomford. This is such an amazing book, okay? I adore Kai Rhodes, I adore Miller, and it's just so cute. I'm pretty sure, oh my god, why do I feel it? Isn't the kid's name Miles? I'm 99% sure. Max. Okay, it's always, I don't know why, but whenever there's it's a single dad trope and he has a son, it's always Max, Milo, or Miles. And in this one, it's Max. But it is so cute. Kai is such a good dad to Max. Miller is such a good nanny / chef, whatever. And it is such an amazing single dad romance. I will literally never stop recommending this book. I love it so much, and you guys should all go read this entire series. Start at Mile High. I know some people say to skip the first one. Never skip it. Evan Zanders is amazing. Stevie Shea. Mile High is still an amazing 5-star book. I don't care what some of y'all are saying. It is amazing. Sorry. There's too much. People hate on Mile High too much. They're like, oh, just get to the right move, it's better. No. Maybe it is. I prefer it over that one, but they're all 5 stars. I don't care. I will protect Xander's and Shay my entire life. I will protect them. I will defend them as well. That's what I meant, not protect. I mean, I'll protect them as well if they need to, because like, but I will defend them. Next we have Love Unwritten by Lauren Asher. This probably is my second favorite Lauren Asher book I've ever read. Out of her, I think she's released 4 + 3 = 7. She's released 9 books. Out of her 9 books, it's my second favorite. My favorite will of course always be The Final Offer. But this one is about Raphael and Ellie. Raphael is a single dad. He has a son. What is the name of his son? Why do I keep forgetting the kids' names? Nico. You know, it's always something like a 3-4-letter word when they have sons. It's so funny. But basically, they kind of hate each other. Raphael and Ellie hate each other. But who is available to become Nico's nanny? None other than Ellie, who is a songwriter, I'm pretty sure, yeah. And they end up going on vacation to Hawaii, and they kind of have to play nice. So, because like, they don't want to hate each other in front of Nico, because that would be bad parenting. Imagine actively hating your child's nanny in front of your child. That would be insane. But yeah, it is just so amazing, and you guys need to all go read it right now. After that, we have Lost in Lasso. This one is such an amazing book. I loved it because it's also super enemies to lovers. They hate each other. And she's his sister's best friend, and she ends up nannying. There's actually a lot of nannying in single dad romance. Yeah, she ends up nannying his kid, yeah, because he needs a nanny for the summer. His ex-wife, who basically him and his ex-wife co-parent their daughter. They are such amazing co-parents. They're besties, and I love them so much. They own my entire heart. But basically, the mother of the child is doing an internship at a law firm in Jackson, Wyoming, and basically, it's in Wyoming, and basically he needs a nanny for the summer because he works at the ranch all day, and she's like, okay, well, I guess I'm available for the summer because she lost her job. And it's kind of, she takes care of his daughter in the most amazing way possible. She's amazing with his daughter, and his daughter loves her. And he starts realizing that maybe she's not as much of a reckless, like, out of control girl, that like maybe she's not out of control as he used to think she is. Maybe she's not as rebellious as he assumed she was, because she messed up one time and he was like, that's it, no, I don't like you anymore. Next up, we have the entire Rose Hill series by Elsie Silver. I only have the 3rd one. I know, it's because I bought the 3rd one when it came out because I wanted to read it physically. So basically, first we have Wild Love. It's about Ford Grant. Pretty sure it's Ford Grant. Yeah, the first one I think is Ford. Yeah, Ford Grant and Rosie. The second one is Weston. Okay, yeah, so we have Ford, Weston, and we also have Reese. So basically, Ford finds out that he has a daughter when she shows up on his doorstep, and she's like, hey, I'm your daughter. And he's like, what? She ends up spending the summer with him. Or no, she ends up moving in with him because I think her mom is like not taking care of her at all. This one, I love it. After that, we have, that one is also kind of enemies to lovers. Well, is it enemies to lovers? Well, more almost forbidden romance, brother's best friend romance as well. After that, we have Wild Eyes, the second one, and it is about Weston, and basically this like country superstar ends up moving in with like at his house, and he has 2 kids. I think he's still friends with the kid's mom, I'm pretty sure. And basically she ends up moving in with them for the summer, and she ends up helping with the kids, and the kids love her, and it's just amazing, and I love it, and you guys should all go read it. And this one, Wildside, is kind of single dad, but not really. She's the kid's aunt, he's the kid's legal guardian technically. Like in the will, she like the girl's sister left the kid to him, and it's also Marriage of Convenience. Amazing. So if you guys want a series of single dads, this series is amazing. But yeah, that's all. No, wait, I have two more. Oh god. In the Elsie Silver realm, we also have Heartless by Elsie Silver. One of the best single dad romances I've ever read. It is truly amazing, and it's also nanny, and it's also age gap. So yeah, I know I'm just throwing out tropes like that, but it's because if I don't want to talk about the book for 5 hours, I need to just quickly describe it. And lastly, in this section, we have In a Jam by Kate Canterbury. This one is such an underrated book, and it is small town romance, and I'm pretty sure it's Marriage of Convenience? No, it's not. No, the second one is Marriage of Convenience. Let me do a quick Google. No, Goodreads. In a Jam. No, it is fake Marriage of Convenience. It is just so cute. You guys should all go read it, and I think it is one of the cutest single dad romances out there. And the second one, In a Rush, is a cute marriage of convenience as well. Best friends to lovers / he's loved her his entire life and she's been oblivious to it the entire time. It's just so amazing. You guys need to read it. Need to read this series. After that, we have one of my most recent favorite tropes, and it is age gap. It is one of my favorite tropes, like I said. So I need to recommend you guys some age gap books because I feel like there's a lot of age gap books out there, but I feel like people are always recommending the more dark age gap, and I feel like it's fun to have light, fun age gap romances instead of just reading dark romance and I love a dark romance, but sometimes I want an age gap that's a rom-com. So most of these I think are rom-com. Wait, there might be only 3.5 that are rom-coms because one is kind of half rom-com, half dark. Well, no, I would say that one's a rom-com. So first we have Problematic Summer Romance by Ali Hazelwood. You guys know Ali Hazelwood is my favorite author of all time. This is my second favorite book of hers. It is amazing. The age gap is done truly in the most amazing way. And I don't care if some people are hating on it or hating that they keep discussing their age gap. It's because, especially in this situation, they're just talking about how, like, they're not ignoring the fact that 23 and 38 is a significant age gap. So they talk about, like, their issues throughout the book, and it is just so amazing. Also, man with an Irish accent. Okay, it's age gap with a grumpy man with an Irish accent. That's all I ask in a book. It is truly amazing, and I need you guys to read it. Twisted Games by Anna Huang. This one is, I think, one of the first age gap romances I've ever read. Yep, pretty sure this is the first one I ever read, and I was a changed woman. I don't know why, but there's something about the age gap books that are, they slap every time they hit. What's the TikTok trend that was like, people were pretending that it was like a cigarette or something, but like it's like their Kindle, and the sound is like the okay, that was a bad, but like this book is truly amazing. It's Bodyguard Ex Princess, that it is. Okay, Reese Larson is my man. And I love this book so much. It's so good, and like, it's just, I don't know how to explain it. It's my favorite book in the Twisted series. It is my top Anna Huang books. Okay, we have Twisted Games. This one is #1, but the rest are not in any specific, well, is it my #1? Actually, this is my #1 in the Twisted series. In the Kings of Sin series, my favorite is, of course, King of Envy, and then I love The Striker. Those are my 3. Oh, but in this series, I also adore Twisted Lives. So like my top 4 Anna Huang books, no order: Twisted Lies, Twisted Games, King of Envy, and The Striker. But this one, truly amazing. You guys need to read it right now. Another book that you guys need to read right this second: Before Dawn. Yes, guys, I'm actually holding this book. And if you guys ever want an amazing book that is kind of slow burn, that will take you a long time to read, look at how tall this book is. It's a big book. Like, this is next to my face. And then the writing is also kind of small. It is perfect for if you want to binge read a book. Like, I will say, this book, you do not realize the time is going by as you're reading it. And also, this book is an amazing age gap romance, and he's also a billionaire, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, pretty sure he's a billionaire. If he's not a billionaire, he's like really filthy rich. And also, it is the perfect representation of a girl who basically gets out of a super, super abusive, toxic relationship and is kind of slowly figuring out who she is, and it's just the perfect representation of all that. And it is amazing. Do check the trigger warnings, but you guys need to read this book, and Jada West you guys need to read all her books. It's truly amazing. One of my favorite age gap books of all time. So earlier, you guys know I was talking about like a grumpy man, age gap, Irish accent. Well, we have none other than Scythe and the Sparrow by Bryn Weaver. This one is the 3rd book in the Ruinous Love series, and it is amazing. It's my favorite book in that series. Rated it was an immediate 5 stars. You guys need to listen to the audiobook. It is amazing. There is a chaotic animal companion that is a drug-addicted raccoon. Yes, I just uttered the words drug-addicted raccoon. It is chaotic. It is amazing. They have such a great relationship. You see Fiona and Rosie throughout the other books. You see kind of like snippets of their relationship, and I had been eating those crumbs up. I guess that's an expression. I don't know if it's actually an expression, but it is just such a great book that you guys need to read right now after reading the first 2, because you guys need to read the first 2 as well. Speaking of another grumpy age gap, this one is a professor-student age gap. She's 20, he's 33, and the book, but it's not creepy because she's kind of been an adult since she was like 15, and the book is, and it's also gothic, so who cares? Like, it's a dark gothic academia romance. The book is Nocticadia by Carrie Late. It was my favorite book that I read last year. I reread it recently. I did the audiobook, and it is truly, once again, a favorite of mine. Derek Bramwell, I will be your lab assistant, whatever. I love him. Yeah, it is truly such a good book, and I can't explain how much I love it. It's so good. Lastly, in this company, and I said company, wow, I said one of the words in the name of the book in this thing. Lastly, in this section, we have In Good Company by Kat Singleton. This one I'm pretty sure is another billionaire romance. It takes place in the Hamptons in the summer. She becomes his private chef, but little twist. His brother is her ex, and he cheated her. I'm pretty sure he either cheated on her or treated her really badly, but he doesn't like his brother. He thinks his brother is such a bad person. And he kind of liked her when she was dating his brother, and you guys know I love a good brother's ex book that's also an age gap. It's just truly amazing. Yeah, she becomes his private chef, and they kind of start dating, and it's just amazing. I love it so much. And really, like, the summer in the Hamptons vibes in this book are. Now we have our last section. I can't believe I'm gonna have only 45 minutes of footage. That's crazy. That never happens for me. This last section is second chance romance, and these are just, I gave a second chance to this trope recently. Sometimes middle of last year, I gave a second chance to the second chance trope, and I loved it. So the book that I gave a second chance to was, that made me give a second chance to the second chance. Anyways, I need to stop trying to make word puns. We have King of Greed by Anna Huang. This book, truly amazing. It is about Dominic Davenport and I think Alessandra. And basically they are married, but the thing is, he is a workaholic and he misses like a bunch of like birthdays and stuff like that. And she tells him, I am leaving you, we are getting a divorce, like I can't deal with feeling alone in this marriage. And he's like, oh my god, I just lost the love of my life. So he decides to make it his mission to do everything in his power and change because basically he also misses their wedding anniversary dinner. Yeah, he's like, I will do everything in my power to become a better man for her and make her like trust me again and have her fall in love with me again. And it is just such a sweet book, and he changes for her so in the best ways possible. Like, he becomes such a better man for her. He's like, I will do anything for her. I love her so much. I'd never want to spend another day without her. So amazing. I'm almost crying, guys, while talking about this book. That's crazy. Next we have Rewinded Back by Liz Tomforty. Yeah, I realized halfway through this video that I was saying Liz Tomford instead of Tom Forty, and it is Tom Forty. This book is my favorite book in this series. It is Rio's book, and it is about him and Hallie. Basically, they were best friends as kids and then started dating. And then when they turn 19, I think when they're 19 and 20, something happens and they break up. And they haven't seen each other in like 7 years, I think. Yeah, 7 years. And no one knows. That's like, you see him being a hopeless romantic in every single other book. Nobody knows like why he's not found anyone. Well, it's because she was meant for him. Well, 7 years later, guess who becomes his neighbor? And because she basically moves into a girl's house, she did her, wait, did she move in there? Okay, basically she moves to Chicago, and she ends up moving in with her friend who she designed her friend's house, and she moves in there. And basically at one point Rio sees her and he's like, oh my god, hey, like, haven't seen you in 7 years, which is crazy. And basically he ends up hiring her as his interior designer because his house is completely like blank. There's nothing in there, but basically it's kind of forced proximity, and it's amazing, and I love this book so much. That was the worst description I could give of that book, but I love it so much. After that we have The X-Vows by Jessica Joyce. This one is also actually most of these are recent additions to this. That's why I gave a second chance romance mostly this year. But The X-Vows is such a cute book. Basically, our two main characters were together for a couple of years, and they broke up, and they lied to their friends because they still have the same best friend. They lied to him and told him that they were still friendly and they didn't hate each other. And then they end up having to, in an emergency, plan their best friend's wedding together at his family's house. And it is just such a good book, and you can see that they still love each other, and they kind of just, the reason why they hated each other even though they still kind of love each other is because it was like right person, wrong timing, because both of them were at really bad times in their lives and they weren't prioritizing each other, and it's just so amazing. And lastly, in this video we have my second favorite second chance romance of all time. That is Left of Forever by Tara Dewitt. That book, okay? Ellis Bird, my man. Ellis and Ren, they own my entire heart, okay? It's basically about Ellis and Ren kind of were childhood sweethearts. They got married young, they had their kid young, and then they ended up getting divorced. And they're still, well, not friends, but like kind of nice to each other still. And their son graduates high school and he goes off to college and he ends up going early, so they kind of drive him up to California. They live in Oregon, and they decide to have a little road trip on the way back to, like, I don't know, good old times, like celebrate, like, oh my god, we raised a kid and he's now like off to college, and they end up falling back in love with each other. And it's just one of the sweetest books ever, because you can see that they are the only people in the world that truly understand one another. Like, they really understand the other one so well. They know each other so well because they've been together. They were together for, I think, like 10 years or like over 10 years and before they divorced. And like, it's just, they both needed time apart to be perfect again together. Just so good. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please consider liking, commenting, and subscribing to my channel. If you want other of my other recommendations, I do almost daily, honestly, hyper specific book recommendations on TikTok and Instagram, and also on shorts here. If you want me to do another video in this, if you want me to make this into a series and recommend books for other tropes that you love, please comment them down so I can know what to talk about in the next video that I post in this series. I hope you guys enjoy this video. Yeah, I already said that. Well, I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day, morning, evening, whatever time it is for you guys. I love you, and as always, I will see you guys next week. Bye!